Well, welcome back everybody then to the Endurance stream. It's late on a Sunday. I mucked that intro up completely, but welcome along all to the final race of the season in this Endurance series then. And it's going to take a lot to catch Signatek and Porsche, I think. In this final race, we need obviously over 32 points and Signatek not to score a single one. So we need some retirements from one of those two teams, really. It's pretty unlikely, let's be honest. But it's been a fairly good season all round. Fourth is what we were aiming for. Fourth is what we've got. And then obviously next season, hopefully, we can start to make some real progress into catching Signatek and maybe Porsche. It depends if Porsche struggle as much next year, really. As they've been really underperforming this year, which has helped us out in a few races here and there. But let's get on with the stream for today. Hope everybody's doing well. And yeah, there's not going to be much to do, really. Oh, really, Mark? Neck issues again. -10 fitness. So he's not going to be doing any long stints in the final race. But there we go. We'll just deal with it. Right. Pit crew. We need someone on tyres and fixing. We might have to bring a couple more people in here. We're starting to get some good people in, so Dilshat will definitely hire. Let's see if there's anybody else about. We need someone good on tyres and fixing. We don't really have much, so I think we'll get rid of these so that we get a new set of people next time. Because you can't have someone that's just on fixing, so having a really high fixing skill is useless. Because you've got to be good on tyres as well, so both of these aren't very useful, to be honest. So let's try and fill up the gaps from what we've got. So there really isn't anybody. So Dilshat is the only person we can put in, really, in that slot. Need someone on the rear jack, if we can find someone with enough stamina. Which we can go for the 66 of route, I guess. These menus work really badly with a scroll wheel, by the way, in this game. Evening Leaf, how you doing, my friend? Welcome along to the stream. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Yeah, I can't really see anybody else that we should be changing out. Let's say we've got someone like here, like Sue, who's great with fixing, but they're terrible on the tyres. So they're never going to be useful for anything, really. So I don't really know why we've got them. But anyway, that'll do for the final race. Nobody is terribly down on stamina, so we should be okay with that. Obviously, we're not really doing anything to the cars because we've decided to start saving for next year, and hopefully we'll have enough money to improve the car a decent amount. Scouting report back on Liuzzi then. Is unemployed. Fairly good marketability. I can't believe that's a driver trait. Skinny. Surely most of them have got to be fairly slim. Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Leaf. I'm good. It's Sunday's the one day of the week I get to relax. So I've had a nice relaxing day. Editing loads of videos to get the gaming channel back up and running in a couple of weeks' time. So look out for that. But yeah, all in all, it's been good. A fairly relaxing Sunday, as per usual. Yeah, I mean, Liuzzi, obviously the age doesn't help. He's not great to begin with. His marketability is not great. Only if we were desperate, I think, would we bring Liuzzi in. But he's scouted and out the way, I guess. TV piece. One of our directors here at Gazzetta dello Sport would absolutely love to film a TV piece in your factory. Too annoying. Both mechanics relationships +5. Money, you say. We get 100,000, but we lose mechanic relationship. Nope, we will not allow them in because 100,000 is not worth losing that benefit. 100,000 isn't exactly going to change the world in terms of our car performance, so there's no point there. I don't think I'd replied to your comment yet, Leaf, but you were saying about it was you that told me to put the amount we put into the car down for the Haas career mode. It's not your fault, mate. I completely forgot about it as well, so that's why it didn't get switched back. And at the end of the day, we still had enough money to make plenty of factory upgrades and the best car we could. So I'm not really complaining about it. I'll just try and remember for next season to put it back up again. Right, let's get the car ready for next time. Improve what we can. So at the moment we're improving the reliability of those suspensions. No need to keep doing that. So let's switch to the engine and that nose section. And performance, we'll keep it on the engine and the suspension, I think, because they've got plenty of oomph still to go in them. I think we'll go a little bit more towards performance, as reliability is pretty good across the board at this point. So we've got 2 more scouting reports coming back now. So Nakajima, wow. I think an IndyCar driver at the moment, Nakajima. He's really not rated by these mod guys, is he? Nakajima's a fairly good driver. So why have they beaten up on him so badly? This is the same Nakajima that drove for Williams, isn't it? I feel that's really harsh. Well, we're definitely not getting him anyway. Yeah, for once we did get lucky, for once. It's got to happen every now and then. Right, Degrassi, definitely a potential driver for that second car. Good across the board. Marketability is a little bit weak, which is a problem. He is fan favourite, though. That's probably because he keeps getting the fan boost in Formula E. So nice, lots of nice benefits there. That's not a timed thing as well, so he'll keep that. And he's unemployed, so definitely a good option, Degrassi. And a very solid driver that didn't really get his chance in Formula 1. So Degrassi, definitely an option. I'll add him to the list. Well, he's already on the list, but as I've said before, we'll be getting our driver lineup sorted once we know how much money we need to spend on the car. Once that car is done, then we can decide which former F1 drivers are going to go into car number 2. Right, engine. Switch over. Nose will switch over. We're not actually using all 4 of them, I just realised. That was a little bit silly. And we'll go rear wing as well. Everything at this point is almost maxed out, and they're never going to use this much reliability. But as the reliability drops, they slowly get quicker. Slowly get slower, the parts, and the car gets slower, so it's always worth to have it as high as possible. It would have been super disappointing if you did not have enough because of me. Well, I would never have blamed anybody, so I shouldn't worry about that. But it's good to know that we got through it. And hopefully we can have a good season in the Haas mode. Beautiful. Is Rosberg beautiful? Can he be described as that? Rosberg is 100% going in the car. To the point that I almost want to just make an offer for him now before someone snaps him up. But I think we'll wait. But unless he asks for a stupidly big wage, Rosberg has to go in the car. He's just got all the signs. Everything going for him. 100% marketability as well. So he's got to. Yeah, Nico, he's definitely going in that car. For sure. But as I say, we'll wait. It all depends on how much we have to spend on next year's car. Because if we are out of money, we might not be able to afford him. So we'll have to wait and see. Right, we've still got these reports coming in. I didn't realise we'd scouted this many people. Kobayashi. Yes, see, Kobayashi is a good option as well. Obviously, already used to the formula, used to the endurance cars. He's a truck racing champion. Is that true? I'd have to look that up. Never heard that about him, to be fair. And he's won all but 1 races this season. Absolutely dominated, has that Toyota car. So definitely a good option. Obviously, we'd have to get him out of a contract, but we know he'd do a very decent job. It all depends on... Get him now, you have nothing to lose. Well, I have money to lose. It was fairly cheap in my place. Okay, we'll give it a go. Sure, why not? Let's get Rosberg in, if we can. See, I have absolutely no idea how much we should be asking. It starts at 336, which is already pretty expensive. I don't want to waste his patience. How much should we be going for? I'll do everything else while I go through that, and if you have an idea of what we should open the offer of, then we'll say equal car. Signing on fee isn't important. None of that's important, so we won't offer it. Maybe I'll go one up to 404,000. And just let me know. This team is coming together. It'd be great to see when these are all ex-Formula 1 faces. Okay, I think I really keep meaning to turn this delay down on the stream, but it would reduce the quality. So we should go bare minimum. It means I don't want to lose him. I am willing to pay quite a lot, but not a huge amount. But we should get some of it back with the sponsors that he brings in. Let's go 404. Let's see what they say. He's going to be pretty much the most expensive driver we get, full stop. So we will find out after the race, it would seem. Right, performance work complete. Contracts running down on our lead designer then, Bradley Spear. Okay. Well, he's got a month left. We can talk about that in the off-season, whether we change the designer. Obviously, he's not the best at the moment, but we've got to curtail our spending at some point. Yeah, it's coming together well, Leaf, but I don't know whether this is all going to be beneficial if we can't improve the car enough. We're just spending a huge amount on XF1 drivers for the sake of it. But that's what I wanted to do, so that's what we're doing. Right. We'll go 4, 5, 4, 4, 5. And a couple of extra sets of medium and softs. Right. I don't think we've got any new parts, so there won't be anything to change around here. So let's get straight into practice, shall we? Yeah, I think you're right. I think Rosberg, especially considering, you know, he's going to be an awful lot better than most people in this championship. Obviously, he's not one of the best drivers in Formula 1 according to his ratings, but in endurance, when you're balancing it between 6 drivers, he's definitely going to make a big difference. So I would tend to agree with you. He's worth it, but it's, you know, whether we're going to bankrupt ourselves from doing it. I'm a little worried we haven't started saving early enough for this car, but I guess we'll find out. Right, preference setup. I don't think we've got a small overlap between those two, so we'll mix it between those, and we'll get out there. Then we'll send Webber. Actually, his stamina's not great. We'll probably put Kubica in the car first off. All right. As always, we'll just try the extremes. Send them out on the soft type. I think we might start on the mediums, because I think they might be the... We need to make sure we max out that race tyre, and I think the mediums are going to be the race tyre most of the time. So I think we'll start on the mediums this time. And speed balance. And handling, medium tyres. Good to go. Okay. Yeah, the marketing is going to be a huge draw. We'll have to get the helipad or whatever it is to unlock 5-star sponsors as well, but I think with Webber and Kubica as well, we should be getting that marketing up towards the maximum now. Oh no, it's nowhere near as expensive as Haas, but obviously we have a lot more coming in from sponsors in the Haas playthrough. So we need a lot more money. Obviously we ended the Haas season with, what, some 60 million or something. We're going to end this with about 12, so we need it to be cheaper. Right, not too bad at first glance on the setup. So let's just change the speed balance quite a bit. Let's change the handling this way. It might need to go the other way, but we can soon find that out. Just see if we can improve the downforce a little bit. And back out he goes with Vern in the car then. Other car, not so great. But plenty of time to improve. Okay, back out they go. Oh, is the sound still an issue? Okay. I haven't really changed much, to be fair. But I'll turn it down a little bit more. Again, it's the same sound balance I use for YouTube. I never quite understand, for the recorded videos, I never quite understand why streaming is so different. I guess it's because it's OBS settings. So hopefully that's a little bit better. Can stay a little bit more zoomed out as well, I guess. Right, let's bring a pair of them in. Although I think one of them's just gone straight past. Yeah, Vern went carried on. Another lap won't hurt. Get some practice underway. Right, Zollinger in the car. Definitely nearly there with the setup. So let's go a bit more that way with downforce. Let's try those changes to handling and speed balance. Let's see if they work. At least we'll know which way we need to be going. And we can go out for a few more laps this time just to get that practice knowledge nicely racked up. Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know why it does it. I never know why anything does anything with video recording or streaming. Sound has always been the bane of my life in comparison to it. Right, I guess let's put Webber in the car, give him a little bit of a stint. I guess we'll tweak that downforce a little bit. Try and keep the handling, change the speed balance a bit that way. Yeah, let's try it. We've got plenty of time to get it right. We'll just leave him out there for a little bit now. Now that we've got most of the setup down. One thing I have noticed the last few races, obviously we've done differing strategies with both cars, but that car that we put Webber and Kubica in, that's along with Vern, has done so much better than car number 2 with the original drivers in. So it just shows the difference the drivers do make. I think there's been a 4 or 5 place difference between the two cars in the last couple of races both times. So hopefully once we can get those other drivers in the other car, we can start challenging for podiums regularly as long as the car goes forward enough. I don't think so, Lee. It's not, it doesn't happen. 100% setups don't happen. Don't believe it. We'll try it, of course. But it's incredibly unlikely. Some would say impossible. I would say impossible. Right, mixture of tyres being used from people, super soft and soft. Around the place as well. I say I think mediums will be most likely race tyre here, although it's quite a bit cooler than I thought it was going to be, so we might get away with softs. And it depends who we're using, of course. Webber is, with his injuries, going to have to do a lot shorter stints, so he might be using the soft tyres for his stint. But apart from that, hopefully we can get over an hour out of a couple of stints on the mediums. Is everybody excited about the new F1 car launches this week? There's 5 cars launching this week. And of course the test starts at the end of the week or beginning of next week. So that's going to be interesting. Even you, Leaf. If even you can't get them since the last stream, then they must take them out of the game. Alright, we've gone the wrong way on speed balance then. So we just need to go back that way a bit. Improved a little bit those ways. Let's try putting the downforce in the middle. changed quite a bit more than I thought it would. We'll go back out again. We've nearly maxed out the race trims. The other car should do that. So let's go out on quali now on the soft tyres and try and max that out. The other car should, yeah, just about clear the level 3 on both of those. Right. Yeah, we finally go again for F1. We are just over a month away now from the start of the season, so oh, thank God. Right, that's good. So I'm gone the right way on everything apart from speed balance. So we just need to go back that way quite a bit. Let's try one more slot over that way. Okay. Qualifying trim and soft tyres. Headset's beeping at me. Just have to put the old power cable in. There we go. What do I think of the Haas and the Williams? I think Haas is quite conservative, and from side-by-sides that people, well, top-down comparisons that people have done, it does look suspiciously like the 2017 Ferrari. I like the livery. It's a little bit bolder, but obviously keeping the same kind of theme. The Williams, I'm not sure about. The livery itself, the thing is with Evening Greg, how you doing, friend? Evening Fox, welcome along. The thing with the Williams is, and with launch cars in general, you're only really judging the liveries because every single part almost is going to be changed by the time they get to Australia. Just from them developing it, and from the fact they don't want to give anything away if they have developed anything. So you're judging the liveries basically on launch. And the Williams, I don't like that black section down under the side pods and down the side of the car. They do seem to have made the side pods a lot narrower underneath, which is quite interesting. But generally very conservative from both Haas and Williams in terms of liveries. Not really much change. Daytona 500 is going off in a few hours. Or is that the NASCAR 500, I presume? I never watched a NASCAR race. There's no way to really watch it over here. It's not really on any channels. I should get around to it one day, I guess. I nearly bought the new NASCAR game the other day, but then I remembered how bad the old ones were, so I decided against it. This is not going great at the moment. I'm going the wrong way on everything. Right, so downforce needs to go back the other way. Let's try going that way a fair bit. That was good. So let's try that speed balance back the other way a little bit. And change that little bit of handling and see how they get on. Go out once again on qualifying on the soft tyres. And the other car, oh, it's looking good. Oh, it's happened. Oh, I'm so happy. Let's have some celebrations in the chat. It's possible. I believe everything now, guys. It is possible. It's happened. The holy grail of setups. 100%. Beautiful. Oh, I can't believe it. Just as you said it, Greg. It's happened immediately. Wow. Okay, I guess I owe an apology to anybody that I've ever said it's a lie, it's a myth. It can happen. And it's happened to the right car as well. Today is the day that I became a believer as well in the perfect setup. I shall make a shrine. I shall dedicate the rest of my life to the religion of 100% setups now. The black part on the Williams, I do like it. I just don't get why it's there. It looks okay from a distance, but it just seems that they could have been a lot more adventurous. I know they're locked into colours by the the livery by the sponsor with Martini, but at the same time I think they could have been a bit more adventurous with it. I agree with their decision to go, unlike Haas, with, actually I think Haas might have as well, to go with a coloured halo. I just think it makes it blend in a bit better. But very difficult to say. Two teams that really need a lot of improvements this year. So interesting to see how they get on in testing. Saved it? No, I didn't save it. But the setup doesn't stay the same, does it? Yeah, you showed me through Fox, but it could have been photoshopped. You know, photoshopped is a thing. I mean, I presume you guys get the tongue-in-cheek that, of course, I know it's possible. It was nice, a nice running joke that went on for almost a year and a half before I got one. The longest running jokes in history. But no more. I will save it, but I think it was Fox that told me that when you save setups, when you reload them, they're never the same. But I will save it so that we have it in future, if that is how it works. How long have we got left? 2 minutes. Is the other car out? No. Okay. Not exactly, but nearly. Doesn't get you close next time. No, but it gives you like 6-ish% setup on that track. Okay, so just less tinkering to do. I guess I should be doing that for setups all the time, really, but I can never be bothered. As with a lot of things. Right, 97. I'll try and tweak. Every grate we've done has been that way, so I guess handling, we should try and take it back that way a little bit. And see if that makes a difference, but at least we've got a fairly decent setup on that car now. We can just do 1 lap stints with both cars, really. We just need to tick that knowledge up a little bit, and then we should be on to qualifying. The 4-episode series about the 2017 McLaren pre-season on Amazon Prime. Yes, I did see that the other day. I haven't got around to watching it yet. Looks interesting. I'd much rather see a documentary about the split between them and Honda behind closed doors, but it would give you you know, an insider's look as to how the teams prepare and the kind of pressure they're under and the processes they go through. Definitely want to watch it. I've got Prime, so I will watch it at some point. I watched the Le Mans series on there the other day as well. It's about the 2015 Le Mans, from lots of different perspectives. That was interesting as well. It's good that Amazon are doing some motorsport-based series. It's not always stories that are told in normal coverage of these sports. How was it, Fox? I say I haven't watched it. I've seen a trailer for it. Looks interesting, for sure. Right, qualifying. Webber and Kubica in the car as per usual. Trummer and Gonzalez in the other one. I guess it should technically Trummer and Zollinger. Which maybe we'll try as the cars preferred to those two. So I'm qualifying for both. Let's see how we got on with that setup. Again, the wrong way. Okay, we'll just take the 97. And obviously super softs. I don't think we've got any threat of rain, thankfully. So let's get them both out there. We'll send Webber out first. Be interesting to see how the car gets on with 100% setup as well. I know it's not going to be a massive difference, but it's interesting that Webber's not in form, even with the best car setup possible. But then he is injured. Should it's interesting, there was a part where they announced the split officially. They basically said McLaren did their part with the power unit held them back. Yeah, that's essentially what was in the press release anyway, wasn't it? I would just love to see that. Some of the conversations they had behind the scenes, but I will definitely watch it. It looks really interesting. So I've got Prime, so I can take a look at it when I've got time. But yeah, I mean, we all know what Honda were doing wrong, and the promises they were not keeping. But it's going to be really interesting to see how Honda do this year with Toro Rosso, and how McLaren do with Renault, because it's a very difficult process to just drop an engine into a chassis that's built for other engines. The McLaren chassis was one of the best on the grid the last couple of years, but that was a chassis that was built to house the Honda engine. There's a lot of stuff they'll have to change with the main chassis to fit a different engine in it, so no guarantees they're going to have the best chassis again, or one of the best. Right, it's not on up to 4 speeds. We have got a pretty long race to be getting underway with. The opening times then at 108.6, 108.9. So Webber once again best of the rest. No, we've got a rebellion. Is it rebellion? It is. There's a rebellion in 4th. It's unusual. Signatech's nowhere. The Signatech just seems to be a quicker race car for some reason. We always seem to out-qualify them. But they're much quicker in the race. The other car will send Zondra out, and then we can do a final run if we want to. With the first couple of drivers once the track is better. It was good, just something to help pass the time, but I'm just so excited for pre-season testing in the first race. I know, we're nearly there. Nearly there. Lots of cars launching this week. It's going to be interesting. Seeing what's coming. I'm really nervous that this season needs to be a cracker. It really needs to change the formula. We need to see a title fight between two or three cars, and you know, you need Ferrari and Red Bull to catch up with Mercedes at the very least, but those guys that are going to be fighting behind them, Force India, Williams, McLaren, Renault, I want to see all those guys a lot closer to the front as well, because that's when it was interesting. And that's sort of the 2009 to 2012 period. That was what was so good about it. Was this this closeness between, you know, you had people like Lotus that wouldn't necessarily be up for winning the race, but they'd be close enough that if there was ever a mistake, they would take advantage. At the moment, Mercedes and Ferrari can make so many mistakes and still finish in the top 4, and that's an issue. It doesn't make it as exciting as it should be. Right, that's the second run's done. It's a 108.3 from Kubica, so the best time of the lot. Sollinger did a 108.5, but a lot of that could be because of the track. But we are 5th and 6th then. Right where we want to be. Behind is just the Porsches and the Toyotas. So we'll wait a little bit longer, and then we'll send the first 2 drivers out for another run at the end. I don't want to do 2 more runs really, it's too many tyres. So there are some improvements coming in. Sollinger drops to 9, Kubica holds on to 5th. Or car number 1 holds on to 5th for the moment. Okay, let's send them back out. We'll save 1 set of super softs for the race just in case we need them. It takes such a long time to change these tyres. Fortunately, it is quite a short lap around here. So Webber, we're going to have to do a very short stint with Webber in the race. Well, he's definitely not going to be able to do 2 stints. That's the problem. So we need the other 2 drivers to do well over an hour each in the race. So it's going to be tricky to manage. But of course, his form's at 0 now as well, which doesn't help. The problem with endurance is you don't get reserves. So if you do have an injury to a driver, what are you supposed to do? You can't put anyone else in, so they just have to race. which if they get a pretty serious injury from a crash is going to be a big problem. There you go, that's just logic. A lot of things in this game, as we know, don't apply to that. Right, let's see how we do. We've got Trummer coming over the line first. And he does make a big improvement then. 108.2, that puts him up to 5th. Webber across the line 2nd. Doesn't improve by enough. He only finds... I don't think he found any time. Did Webber there, so he will stay in 6th. But that's a great lap from Trummer, and that's put car number 2 in 5th on the grid then. I think maybe they've heard some of my comments about them not being anywhere near as strong as this new XF1 team. Because that's quite the response. Good on them. Hopefully we can have a good race with both cars then. And we just need to find a way to manage these races properly. I think that's our big problem. Because we've clearly got the speed over the Rebellions. The Signatechs are 9th and 10th this time. But I've got a feeling we're going to struggle once again to stay ahead of them. So, of course, we went very aggressive last time. It did seem to work. But I think what we found is that we needed to be aggressive on the fuel and early race, but we still need to manage the tyres. So we'll just try and be more aggressive all round this time. We'll go with mediums and race trim, I think. Maybe we'll try soft. We'll try soft tyres on car number 2. And we'll try and keep each car to their particular tyres. So I wonder if we just start car number 1 on with Webber and maybe on softs and just try and get as far into the race as he will do, and then his stint will be done. So what are we expecting out of them? Sorry, 47 to 49 laps. That sounds ambitious to me. But we'll go 40. We're not trying to save too much fuel. We'll try and be fairly aggressive again early on. And then car number 2. We're kind of going the wrong way here on knowledge. Let's do it the other way around. Let's go soft tyres on car number 1. Medium on car number 2. Who's got the greatest stamina is Zollinger. So let's go medium tyres with Zollinger. Potentially up to 60 laps then. So we're going to have to do quite a lot of fuel saving if we're going to get 60 laps out of them. But it's possible. And we'll see if we can do a really long first stint. Right, I think we're ready to go then. So, final race of the season. I don't think there's anything we can do in terms of championship position. Porsche and Signatech are well away from us really in terms of points, but as long as we can try and finish the season with a bang, I'll be happy with that. And maybe get one of the cars onto the podium again as well. Would be nice to see. So I think the speed is inherently in the cars. We just need to find a way to outrace the Signatechs, because they're so much stronger in the races, and I don't know if that's because we're mucking it up somehow. I guess we will find out. I really need to get onto the Discord of this mod to get that zoom mod again. Muck with the audio levels, but I really want to see a lot closer in. Right, so let's go up to speed 12. This is taking forever. Right, we're underway then for the final race of the season. Go down to 2 speed for the first couple of laps. Good start from Zollinger. Webber's lost a couple of places, unfortunately. Let's try and look after the tyres. up that boost in a little bit. We want to save Zolder. So aggressive first stint and then less aggressive for the rest of the race, if I remember correctly. That's what we thought we should do last time. Yes. So don't pussyfoot around at the beginning of the race, trying to save everything in that. Well, yeah, just I think more aggressive on fuel in general, rather than constantly trying to use hybrid to save, and then but still looking after the tyres, because that's what we mucked up last time. We were really aggressive on both tyres and fuel. I think tyres we still have to get the distance out of them, otherwise we lose a stop. So let's be aggressive with Webber. I am going to use hybrid with Zonja though, purely because I want to try and get the distance out of those medium tyres. But we will go to high fuel mode. Try and be a bit more aggressive. Right, let's kick them up to full speed. One of the Porsches has fallen behind us, so this is a fairly good start. Webber has just shot past a lot of them. He may have a bad back and have terrible form. He's flying on those soft tyres. And let's go high fuel. And let's see if we can stretch this advantage while Zonja's still holding them up, although one of the Signatech cars is now passed. So we'll see how fast Webber really is here. Tyre temp's looking okay. It's not too hot out here, so we shouldn't have too much of a problem with tyres. Let's say we're just going to try and get the distance out of the fuel with Zonja. Do a really long first stint. He's the only guy on mediums in the field at the moment. So if we can get him the distance, but still try and stay with this pack, then it will pay dividends later on. Now that Signatech Palmer Hansen, it's actually one of the Rebellions. Is starting to catch Webber. Gap sort of around about 3 seconds at the moment. But we should be okay. It doesn't seem hugely quicker, if at all. He's fired up now though, and because of Webber's injury, he's actually never going to hit his fire up because it was at the beginning of his stint. And of course he only started with 60 stamina. Okay. Zonja is slipping back through that pack. I don't know what we can really do about that. But using the fuel, it's all about the distance with his strategy. And this race should come back to him. He's only 7 seconds behind Webber, so it's not a huge problem at the moment. They don't start scampering off into the distance. Webber has lost a little bit of the gap to the Rebellion behind. Obviously the two cars behind are on, well, one's on soft tyres, one's on the quicker super softs, but they're both fired up, which I don't think we're going to be able to negate with fuel. But we could negate with power, as Jeremy Clarkson says. Power! Right. Tyres holding up. It's weird how Porsche are struggling at times. Bamber there in the other Porsche down in 9th place with no 8th place with no real pace at all, whereas the other one is off into the distance in 3rd. It's interesting, the differences between the two of them. As to why that is, I don't know. So Webber actually just did the fastest first sector of the race, so he's showing good speed at the moment. He's ekes out that gap again behind. The Signatech of Raoul has actually got past the Rebellion now. So we've got a new challenger behind, so we'll see if that gap comes back down. And we're going to keep saving that fuel with Zonja. It's not going to help too much, but it's kind of the opposite of what we're trying to do with Webber's car. We're going to try the old strategy versus the new this time, I think. We're going to try and be conservative and go for one less stop with car number 2. Car number 1 will go aggressive as we can and try and stay ahead for the race. If that Signatech car tries to challenge us, We will try and defend rather than just letting him pass like we've done in the past. You know what I mean. So we're lapping cars now. Might be a good time to use some boost. Maybe a little bit of tyres. Just to see if we can make up a gap to Raoul in the Signatech. Traffic, always a good opportunity, endurance racing, to gain time. Once again, we're stuck behind though. Should be blue flags. Come on, guys, get out the way. What are we doing here? Ping pong? Right, temperature's going up a little bit, so we have to curtail that a little bit. He had got a bit of a gap over that Signatech. That's now disintegrated once again, and Webber is in real danger of being passed here. I don't really know what we've got to defend. The Signatech cars are just so aggressive and so quick. We're trying to be overtaken now. We'll use the boost to defend. We'll do that as long as we can, but the car is so much quicker. Behind we've got a gap. He's on faster tyres as well, the super softs, I guess. So we just need to hold on for a couple of laps and he'll be coming into the pits anyway. The gap behind to the Rebellion is a lot more manageable. Still around 4 or 5 seconds. There he goes. We could use a bit more boot. We just can't get past. Look how much charge he's got left. It's disappearing into the distance. So I can't stay ahead of him for love nor money. Those Signatechs. I'm hoping this will be one of those rare occasions where he comes back to us later in the race, but in all likelihood we won't see him again for the rest of the race. So let's concentrate on what we can defend from. We've got a Rebellion, a Porsche and a Signatech behind us. The other Rebellion is 9 seconds ahead of Zollinger. Into the pits now come quite a few of them though, including the 3rd place Porsche, so that puts Webber up into 3rd now. Let's do a bit more saving with Zollinger. Yeah, we fought him as long as we can. Obviously Webber is really not feeling it. Tyre is almost got, yeah, the tyre of the Signatech. So they've gone on to the mediums. So they've obviously had to do a shorter stint first time out. Because we can go longer on the softs than they could on the super softs, then we can probably stay on the soft tyres and then stay out as long as they do on the mediums, because they've had to pit so much earlier. So that might be where we get back at them. But obviously we're losing time all the time we're staying out, so we'll have to see. We might run out of fuel before we run out of tyres as well, so let's use the hybrid a little bit and just try and take these tyres as far as we can. Engine and gearbox holding up nicely, so we can keep pushing. Don't have any problems with that. And it's this little pack behind Webber needs to worry about. If we stay ahead of them, we've got a good chance of some good points. Zollinger, we'll see if he starts coming back at them as those soft tyres start to get low. So he can stay out for a long time yet. He can probably, looking at his stamina, he might be able to stay out for his entire allocated time. If he can do it close to an hour 12 minutes, then that would have been a great stint from him. It'll put us in good stead for the rest of the race. As long as he can do over an hour, really, I think we could potentially do this on just 2 stops with car number 2. That's where we'll have the pace during the race to make it work, though. Right, everybody else in that started on the super soft now, so we're now leading the race. Both Toyotas actually came out behind, so if we could do one less stop here, we could be in the driving seat. We'll see. Not really much we can do for the moment. Let's keep saving fuel with Zollinger. I think we're good on those tyres for a bit longer as well, so we'll start saving with Webber as well. Let's try and extend these stints as much as possible. Coming under pressure from that, let's switch to boost actually to try and defend from the Rebellion. Rebellion's got past, the other Porsche's got past. And I wonder if this is now a good time to stop. I think we're going to jump ship a couple of laps early here. We're going to put Kubica in the kart, again on the soft tyres, and see if we can jump these guys by undercutting them, or at least get a bit more of an advantage. Right, so what do we do on those 32? I reckon we could have done quite a few more laps, to be fair. So we'll go with maybe 27 laps, and we'll see if we can get... let's go 30, and so we can keep being aggressive on the fuel. We'll save a little bit here or there if we need to. So Webber's obviously losing pace now. His stamina is knackered. So that's about as long a stint as he can do today, unfortunately. Through goes Zollinger. Plenty more laps to do for car number 2. So where are we going to come out? It's a long old stop in this, isn't it? Out he comes. So just ahead of the Rebellion of Senna. Just behind the Porsche Vianney. And then there's Buemi quite a way down the road. So that's worked out okay. If we can start this stint nice and aggressively, then we should be able to jump those front 3 when they come back out. We'll have to wait and see. Zollinger, on the other hand, has just been passed by the net race leader, so not really bothered about that. And in those guys come now then. So where are they going to come back out in relation to Kubica? He's coming around the corner now. Oh, it's close. I think he's just ahead. No, he's just behind. He's quite a way behind the other one. What are Signatech doing? They're so good. They got the other one out 11 seconds ahead. They must have a really, really good pit crew. It's the only explanation for any of this. Right, he's fired up. Kubica, I don't want to push on the tyres. We still need to get the distance out of them. But we'll keep the fuel pumped up. And let's see if we can make any inroads into those cars ahead. Zollinger, on the other hand, is approaching 50 minutes. Fuel looks good still. I'll do a bit more saving just in case. But 12 more laps will be fine, I think, for what we're expecting. So maybe I'll use half of it for a energy boost. Now let's use it out of this last corner here, because I think 12 laps will be fine. I don't think the tyres are going to last any longer than that, and that will be just over an hour then. Right, Kubica has now caught, and he's just passed Beachy. So, oh, Beachy back past. Is this traffic? Let's just use that boost. Try and get him through it. It's gone down the inside of Beachy there. Can't find a way through. He finally does then. And up into 8th place. Has he got the speed to get away from him? We'll have to wait and see. Zollinger starting to see double, apparently. Stamina just starting to run out now. Now I'd like all 3 drivers to do over an hour, and then we can just two-stop it on the medium tyres. But Zollinger did have the best stamina of any of our drivers, And if he's struggling to make an hour, we might have to make a splash and dash at the end. Just a short, soft or super soft stint with somebody. But he hasn't made any mistakes so far. So we'll keep him out for a few more laps while the tyres are still good. Let's use a little bit of a boost. Kubica has pulled a couple of seconds on Beachy then. And is showing good pace on these soft tyres. Next up is that Sigmatech car of Raguez. So we'll keep an eye on that gap and see if Kubica can do anything about it. Even Chocolate Memes, how you doing, my friend? Welcome along to the stream. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Alright, let's just hold out for that hour mark with Zonja. If we get over an hour with each driver, then we would have done our job. It's obvious the tyres can go that far. It's the drivers that are going to struggle. But then again, we might gain so much time by only two stopping that it might not matter if they make a couple of mistakes. Kubica's trying to overtake Lotterer in the Porsche. He is absolutely flying. Let's give him a bit of a boost, shall we? Let's see if that's enough to get him past the Porsche. Having a look down the inside, and he's making the move stick. He's flying out there, the pole. Right, that's now going to be over an hour at the end of this lap, so we'll bring Zonja in this time. So I'm worried about the stamina with these guys, but we'll see if we can pull it off. So we'll go medium tyres again. Fuel options will go. I can't remember how much we put in last time. What, the best people from Luxembourg? I don't know what that means, Chocolate Meme, I'm afraid. I'm sure the people from Luxembourg are great, but was that a question? I don't know. So we're going to keep saving fuel this time around. 49 laps is obviously around about an hour. So 40 laps and fuel saving should be fine. Hopefully. Engine and gearbox still holding up. So let's send them back out. Right, Kubica's no longer firing on all cylinders, so he's going to come back under pressure from that Porsche, I would imagine. I think we might have to start saving a bit of fuel because I think we underfueled it a little bit. Let's keep an eye on this pit stop then. It'll be interesting to see where Zonja comes back out. Obviously, it's his first stop of the race. There goes Kubica. So we're quite a way behind the 8 ball in terms of that battle. Kubica shouting about something. Not sure why, he just lost a position. But Gonzalez comes back out in 11th then. We're not too far off, and if we can do one less stop, you're talking almost a minute in time. So we're still in this race. I'm going to use the boost for the first little bit percentage, and then we'll start saving fuel after that. And I think we're going to have to start saving fuel with Kubica as well. Oh, are people from Luxembourg good in game like stats? I don't know. I can't think of any drivers from Luxembourg, so I wouldn't be able to tell you, I'm afraid. I can take a look and see if there's any driving at the moment. I can't say I remember many drivers from Luxembourg, so no. If you stick around the chat, I can take a look when the race finishes, if you want. But we have nobody from Luxembourg at the moment. It depends. The mod makers generally do a good job of making the drivers as good as they are in real life. So if there's some good Luxembourg drivers about the place, then I'm sure they'll be in the game. That's in any form of motorsport. They cover most professional drivers in this game in various series. Right, so Kubica's obviously losing a bit of time to that Porsche now, but he's made a nice 12-second gap to the Rebellion behind. Is it the Rebellion behind? It is. So we've got 2 Rebellions. And then, don't tell me the other Syntec is... They're so quick, these two. We need to make some big improvements to the car next year. Some big improvements. Because those Syntec cars are so fast in a race. I'm not quite sure why. So what are they doing? They're pushing on the fuel, they're neutral elsewhere, so they're not exactly pooning the cars. They have a better battery system. They might have a good charging system, which might be helping them out. But we just cannot keep up with them. So, I think 7th might be the best that Kubica can get today. It's disappointing. I'll use the hybrid with both cars for the moment. Conway and Buemi are indeed flying off into the distance. Those 2 Toyotas are so much quicker than anything else. Even the Porsches are nowhere near. In fact, the Porsches are really in a fight with the 2 Syntec cars at the moment. But we don't have the pace to beat any of them. I mean, we're currently sandwiching the 2 Rebellions. So hopefully we can get Gonzalez ahead of those 2. If he can do 1 less stop and can get an hour out of the car. Without collapsing from dehydration or exhaustion. But Kubica we've been aggressive with, and we just haven't got enough. The only thing with the first Syntec car is tyre life we're beating them on at the moment, so maybe they might have to do 1 more stop. So what we might do when Kubica comes in, we might put Vern in the car and try and do a long stint on the mediums with Vern, and then see if we can just do 1 last stop, and that way we might be able to do 1 less stop than 2 Syntec, which would get us back ahead of them, hopefully. It's worth a go, I think. And Gonzalez should fire himself back up that order, as long as he can go the distance. So, there's still everything to play for. It's not looking great at the moment, though. You're back. Chocolate Memes. Best driver is Bertrand Gachot. Okay. Well, I shall look him up after we finish the race and show you how decent he is in the game. Do you know what category he drives for? What cars he drives? To make it easier to look for him. Right, a few pit stops coming in now. There's a penalty, it would seem, for Lotterer in one of the Porsches. So, I don't know what kind of penalty that's going to be. That might help us out a little bit. It's closing. Oh, Lotterer has just pitted and will probably take that penalty now. So it was a drive-through because he didn't take on tyres and fuel. So that's helped us out quite a bit. Gonzalez is still staying ahead of these guys when they pit. So if we can make this strategy work on car number 2, then we're quids in here, I think. But we probably need to turn that fuel down now, because we need to get the distance out of that car. We're gonna have to bring Kubica in a couple of laps time, so let's just use that as a boost. We've underfueled him again a little bit, but as I say, if we can get Vern to do something like an hour, we're going to struggle here to get the distance out of our drivers. Right, Kubica's going to have to come in this time round. It depends how much Webber recovers, because Webber can only do half an hour in the car, so we're going to need Vern to do an hour in it. So we're definitely going to have to go medium tyres. Let's make sure we don't underfuel it this time. The mediums did around about 50 laps, So that we can go aggressive on fuel, let's put quite a few laps in. That should hopefully negate the tyres. Do you a game called War Thunder? No, I haven't played it before. It looks alright. It's not really a kind of game I play regularly. I played a bit of World of Tanks, but I don't really like the pay-to-pay models in those games too much. Gasho is in his 50s. I don't think he's in the game. Okay. Encyclopedic knowledge from Greg Bros there. Oh, we got a mistake. We got a mistake on the kart. It's cost us 11 seconds. Just what we needed. Thanks, guys. Gong. You're going to be fined. It's only your first mistake, so as long as you don't make another one, you won't be fired today. That is, of course, our rules in this series. If any mechanic makes 2 mistakes or more in a single race, they shall be fired, even if it's our fault for tiring them out. Rules are rules. Right, we have to keep using the hybrid mode with Gonzalez. I feel we might have underfueled him a bit again, but we'll see. We just need to do about another half an hour in the kart, and we're still on target for this strategy to work. Vern, on the other hand, has come back out in 11th. The 11 seconds haven't cost him a huge amount in terms of positions, but it is going to put him a little bit too far behind, I think, to do anything about the Signatechs or the Porsches unless we can do one less stop. So we shall see. We're into that middle of the race feel now. We just have to let them settle down and do their thing. We've got quite a bit of boost we can use on Vern's car. We've obviously overfueled him specifically for that reason, and he needs to do his full allocated hour really to give Webber a shot at being able to complete the race. I'm a little bit worried about Webber's stamina recovering enough for him to do half an hour in the kart, but we don't really have an option. You found that Mika Hakkinen is the best driver today. In what? In history? I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. He was a great driver, but he wasn't. I wouldn't call him. Definitely not the best driver nowadays. Back in the 90s, old Mika. Okay. I'm feeling more confident about car number 2's strategy at the moment than I am about Vern's. That 11 seconds really didn't help. I don't know but we're going to be able to do one less stop than people, because the 2 that I thought were going to be these 2, Tandy in the Porsche and Pansiashi. Anyway, I know what my pronunciation is like in the Signatech. But their tyres are looking okay. So we'll be lucky if we get to do one less stop than them. Now we're getting low on fuel once again with Gonzalez, and I feel we've underfueled him massively. He says the fuel's piling up, but I don't think he's quite understands the situation. McHackman's finish, chocolate beams, not from Luxembourg, I'm afraid. The Flying Fin. Very, very worried about this fuel. I mean, if we go to low fuel mode, it's not going to save us more than a couple of laps, and we're going to be much further short than that. It needs about another 20 minutes in the car at least. Because who are we going to be putting in? We're going to be putting Trummer in. I guess 16 minutes if Trummer can do an hour and we fuel Trummer up correctly. he should be okay. We'll have to see. Gonzalez is looking good at the moment. He's up there in 3rd place, and if he only has to make one more stop, then he could well hold on to that 3rd place. So that strategy's definitely working out as long as we can get it working, and our drivers can keep themselves up and running for an hour. Right, so we were going aggressive with Vert. We've got plenty of charge to use, so let's go aggressive on that and use that up. Second stop has been made from PK Jr. in the rebellion behind them. We've got Porsche partly ahead, but by some 20 seconds. Now, these guys like Webb's to buy Cole's car. So where are the two Signatechs, 5th and 6th, fighting each other? So they both stopped twice, and they're probably only going to have to stop once more, like Vern. So it's not worked out for car number 1. Car number 2 looking good. I have to get my calculator again. Quick maths. 2 plus 2 is 4. Quick maths. Yeah, we're going to have to work it out. I'm just so bad at working out how much we save by the fuel mode and stuff. Okay, let's keep an eye on Verm when he crosses the line, because he's using max fuel. So 25.15. He's fired up and in the zone. Is Vern? I shouldn't use the boost. That's just not made it accurate at all. Okay, let's go with Gonzalez. I think I was actually looking at the wrong car anyway. Let's save some fuel. I think Gonzalez is going to make it. He only needs to do 6 more minutes. Right, so crosses the line 6.02. I think it's probably 0.3. He's in hybrid mode as well. I don't know. The race, Chocolate Memes, is 3 hours, but it's not real time. We're doing ×4, and a 3-hour race on normal time takes about an hour and a half. So it's only about a 45-minute race, 45-50 minutes at this speed. This is the Endurance Series, of course, in Motorsport Manager. So obviously it's meant to be a longer race. That's why we use multiple drivers. Yeah, I don't know if I'm just going to have to go on a whim again, as I always do. We're approaching that hour mark now with Gonzalez. Trummer's got the least stamina of everybody in car number 2, so the further we can go over an hour, the more this will pay off for Gonzalez. We've just been passed by the Porsche of Tandy, but it's right at the end of the stint, so we've got a good chance of beating him home. 6.03, 5.92 under hybrid. What is that? Oh, what between the 2 laps? Sorry. Okay. Doesn't really tell me how much I need to put in though. I'll work something out. We have to overfuel them. We have to overfuel them. I had a long day editing stuff, and I can't do maths at the moment. We'll try and work out how much we need. I just have to think about it on the fly, really. I mean, this is about right what we put in, and I think this was 40 litres of fuel with some saved. So that gives us some kind of idea. Let's just use that boost from Vern. Right, we're going to come in this time round. So it'll be Trummer in the car on medium tyres. And it'll be once again around about 50 laps with some fuel saving. So I think it's around about 40 laps. I might put a couple in for luck just in case. One lap 0.93 non-hybrid for 2 yellow arrows. Yeah, but I'm going to be using hybrid. I appreciate it, Greg. I know roughly what it is. We shouldn't run out with this. I'm not in the mood to be working out his axe and using calculators and stuff. As long as we get to the finish, that's fine. It's the last race of the season. Alright, hopefully no mistakes from the pit crew. This is the one car we can't afford it. It's looking good, isn't it? No, I know, Greg. I know you are. It's the thing is, finding out how much per lap and everything it needs is fine. All I need is a number of how much to put in if we're going to be using hybrid the whole time. I'm very tired. I can't think at the moment. We should get to the end. If we don't, it's my fault for not working out properly. If we have a bit of extra left over, we can use it up in the last few laps. So, as we know, I'm far from optimal in this game anyway. So why not be far from optimal in the fuel as well? Do I have Hot Wine 4? I do, Chocolate Memes. I love that game. I never really play it on this channel because it's racing stuff. I might start doing some stuff on the gaming channel once I get that back up and running. But yes, I love Hot Wine 4. It's a great game. Right, I'm going to turn the fuel down for Vern and start saving a bit now because we need about another 20 minutes from Vern. I'm worried he might be a bit short here. So let's just try and save what we can. So Trummer came back out in 9th. I think everybody around him has got to stop again at the moment. So the people we're trying to get back out ahead of are Panchiashi and Hartley. Maybe Dumas. We'll find out now with Dumas when he pits. If we can get anywhere near him. Right, Dumas is on his way now then, so we're quite a way behind, unfortunately. So that's not worked as hoped. Okay, it's not looking great. Yeah, I've used a few mods for Hot Wine. I play Road to 56 quite often. Kaiserreich mod's always fun. I played a bit of Millennial Dawn, but I find it a bit confusing in terms of the army competitions. But yeah, I use a lot of mods for Hot Wine 4. Make a big old difference to the game. Okay, it's not looking great, this race. It's just kind of highlighting once again, as the last few races have. We were very lucky with, I think, getting the strategy right in the first few races this year. Flattered our car a little bit, but we've definitely got some pace to work on. And I think our car is pretty much on a par with Rebellion in terms of just race pace. So we need to make some big improvements next year. So the only decision left then, obviously, is when to bring Vern in. He's got 5 laps left of fuel, and he needs to get 12 minutes. Let's find out the exact time he needs. So Webber can technically do 31 minutes. Yeah. We've mucked this up. we've really mucked this up because they're doing, what, 1 minute 12s at the moment. Yeah, I don't think there's any way we can get far enough into the race with Vern here. Oh shit, yeah, we've mucked this up. It's all because Webber was injured and he couldn't do an hour stint. We should have brought him in a little bit earlier if we'd known, obviously. You don't have enough fuel spare, Vern. Let me tell you for free. Oh, we got a problem with the car. Rear wing on Trummer. Oh dear. It's all going wrong. How's the other car looking? Okay. I don't think we can get Drummer to the end with that. This is a mess all round. We got 5 minutes to go with Vern. I think we're just going to have to put Webber in the car and hope that the way that it drops in terms of the winner crossing the line, which then stops the clock, falls on the right side of Webber's time. That's all we can do, really. Trummer, what do you guys think? Do you think we should bring him in to repair that rear wing? Obviously we don't have to refuel or anything, just a quick stop to replace it. But obviously that's going to get worse, and half an hour's a long time yet. Right, where is Vern now? He's going to have to come in this lap. It's not long enough. It is not long enough. Oh dear. Oh well. We'll give it a go. I don't know what kind of penalty it gives you if your drivers go over. Whether it gives you a time penalty or if it's just put a couple of laps in to be safe at this point. Or whether it disqualifies you. I don't know what it's going to do to us. Bring it in, you'll fail if you don't. It might do. It might not. Okay, we'll bring him in. I always bow to your wisdom, Fox. Right, so we don't really need to change anything. Just fix that. Pit stop time will be 15 seconds. So, it's not the end of the world. But you're right, we're probably better off getting it fixed than not. Right, hopefully no mistakes with Vern's stop. If you play Hot to Wine modern day, I will ask you a lot to become the Green Party. Yeah, I still don't think I would. I can't say I've not played much Millennial Dawn, if that's what the mod you're talking about, so I don't know what benefits the Green Party has necessarily. Right, Webber back out, no mistakes thankfully. I'm hoping he can get to the end somehow. We've probably got enough fuel to go on to high mode. If we do a bit of saving along the way. We've got excess fuel now for Trummer, so we can push as well. Trummer's come out just behind Webber then. And those 15 seconds have cost us 8th place then. Couple of cars that still might pit. Let's go back up to 4 speed. Krellhammer, Raoul should be okay till the end. PK Junior might have to stop as well. So let's see how we get on. Just let them get down to business for the moment. Trummer is fired up now, so hopefully he can try and make up for those 15 seconds lost. Whether it's just about getting to the end really. He's got some nice soft tyres on. So even if Krellhammer doesn't stop, he should be able to close down that gap. I'm not going to go crazy on the fuel just yet, or the boost, until I know we're home and dry. We're pretty close at the moment. I think Trummer's got quite a bit of excess, to be fair, so we can probably use that boost as a boost rather than harvesting. And we'll just see how Webber gets on, really. Trummer's race, that really doesn't help. 2 Rebellions are off into the distance, really. Not a good race. Not a good race. It's not really the definition of finishing the season with a bang. It's finishing the season with a bit of a whimper, unfortunately. We can pick up a couple of places. Well, one more place for both these cars. And take 8th and 9th. I guess it's not the end of the world. Who are the cars ahead of us? I think that is a Bicolas. It is. Bicolas. My gosh, it is. One of the Rebellions is actually 12, so we are beating a Rebellion at least. We've got to beat that Bicolas. And just down the road is the Rebellion. But he's on the super soft tyres, but he's got car issues. And the Porsche and the guys that we were racing are off into the distance. It's got to be car, isn't it? It can't be anything else than just that our car is not quick enough. Even if we get the strategy right, it just doesn't. We fall away so much as the race goes on. Yeah, I mean, even if Trummer hadn't come in, he would be just ahead of Webber anyway, so not much difference in the strategies in the end. He should be good with fuel. Might just go to medium for a couple of laps with Webber, just to make sure we've got enough. Webber has got past Krailhammer though, and up into 7th because Homer Hansen has pitted again. So that's got to be repairs for the Rebellion, because he's now no longer got car issues. So we're back up to 7th here with Webber, and hopefully he can hold on to it. Hopefully Trummer can hold off the Rebellion as well with 19 minutes to go. It's going to be mighty close with Webber as to whether he can finish this race. We've got car issues again for Trummer, this time the brakes. Maybe should have fixed them at the same time if I was paying attention, which I wasn't, of course. We're just going to have to roll with it, really. What's the point system for this? I always forget. Yes, we do get points for every position, so might be worth bringing Trummer in to fix those brakes. Oh dear, how long is that going to take? 13 seconds, about 15 seconds stop then. We're going to have to, aren't we? Can we change type? It'll take up to 50 seconds. No. Okay, we should have spotted that the first time. Our fault. Should have done both. Should have done both of them at the same time, really. Stop. It's 15 seconds. What I'm not factoring in is the pit lane time, actually. That's what we're losing more of. That's the problem there. I can do a little bit of harvesting for Webber, just to make sure he gets over the line. It's pretty much judged to perfection though, hopefully. He's nicely ahead of Homer Hansen behind. Webber's just stopped again, so Trummer is back up to 9th, so not much lost there really. He lost 8th to the Rebellion. The Rebellion stopped again! More repairs. No, changing driver. Changing driver, so they got the timing wrong as well. So we're back up to 7th and 8th. You never know. If you dial push level back, you could save. Never mind. Oh, is that was instead of the brakes? Yeah, it could have. I could have risked it, but yeah, it's kind of worked out in the end somehow. Don't ask me how. Also, don't ask me how. Oh, it has just corrected it back to 2 little yellow arrows. We've got some excess fuel then, so we can probably go to high mode now and start using this as a boost on both cars. Trauma struggling a little bit, but he's got a big old gap, 20 seconds back. Webber's only 10 seconds off Menendez. So there's an outside chance we could pick up 6th, but it's unlikely. Everybody finishing on the super soft tyres here. Daytona 500 is on now. I don't know where I can watch it over here. I don't really have... I watch most things on the computer nowadays, so I don't really have any out of Sky or any services that I can watch it, like Eurosport and stuff, that it might be on. How long is the driver switch? 50 odd seconds, I think. You're talking about swapping Webber. 30 seconds. That's a good point. He's a long way ahead. Some 50 seconds ahead of Trummer. That might be worth doing then. That's a good call. Just in case he doesn't... He gets a penalty. Yeah, because he wasn't going to catch Menendez. It was worth doing, I think. You're right. Hopefully he gets back out ahead of Trummer. Oh, it's going to be close between the teammates. Just Kubica gets out ahead. I think there might be a live stream for free. Okay, I'll have a look afterwards. I've never ever watched a NASCAR race just because I don't know why. I don't find the oval all that appealing for racing. The way the whole slipstream strategies and everything works, I don't find it that exciting or skillful. I know it takes skill. I don't take that the wrong way. I just don't find it that enjoyable seeing drivers go around in a circle, I guess, at the end of the day. But maybe if I can find somewhere to watch it, then I will. It should change tyres as well. I guess it doesn't make any difference. We're going to finish 7th and 8th, even if we put new tyres on. He wasn't going to suddenly find a minute of time just because of fresh tyres. So, hey ho. It's 7th and 8th. It's not ideal. We've been very lucky to get 7th and 8th, to be honest. Fuel's held out. Everything else is held out. We'll take that at the end of the season. We just need a better car. And then we can... we've got a bit more leeway into whether we get the perfect strategy or not. I'm happy with how that goes. Kubica across the line 7th, Trummer in 8th then. It's a fairly good race. A bit of a lackluster finish to the season, sure, but at least both drivers see the finish, and both teammates pretty close to each other for the first time in a few races as well. So a lot of work to do next week. Next week, of course, we will be doing the pre-season and the first race at the same time, so it'll be a slightly longer stream. That's okay, Leaf. I'll forgive you. Don't worry about it. I would take the penalty to see Greg. Yeah, I need to... I'll put a lower latency on next time on the stream to get these messages back to me a bit quicker. It will reduce the quality of the stream a bit, but I think it's needed because by the time you guys have said something and I've read it, it's already happened, which doesn't help. So 7th and 8th, Pole position for the Porsche. Those Porsches really, really quick over one lap, but not good race cars. Both struggling once again in 3rd and 5th. 2 Signatechs incredibly impressive once again. We just need to make that leap forward next year, and we'll have a great fight with both these teams, I'm sure. But in the end, we do beat both Bicolors and Rebellion cars home. So we did the bare minimum we needed to. So drivers' champions are Lopez, Kobayashi and Conway for Toyota. Jean-Luc Verne finishes alone 6th place for us. Of course, we were switching drivers around during the season. That's why ours looks a bit strange. Zonja, Gonzalez and Trommer, who stayed together for the entire season, were 8th. And then we got Webber in 9th. Kubica in 10th. Again on different points. And we should have... oh, they're the free agents there. Graves and Hiroshi on 29 and 25 points. As if this table wasn't enough of a mess. We had to put all these drivers on it. But it's a fairly good result, really. And that just shows car number 1 would have finished 6th overall. But on identical points as the Signatech cars. The Signatech number 2. So, not too bad. In the end, then, we're 52 points off Signatech. Porsche managed to regain 2nd off them. But still a long, long way off Toyota. It would be a disappointing race and season, for Porsche, that's for sure. And we beat Rebellion and Bicolors by quite a distance. So, it was the bare minimum we needed to achieve. We've finished closer to the top 3 than we have the bottom 2, so I guess we can take that as a positive. And then hopefully next year we can make a much better car and go forward from there. Right, as per usual then, we shall be ending the stream there. I'm just trying to think if I've got anything next Sunday. I don't think there is any ORL stuff next Sunday, so it will definitely be continuing the stream next Sunday from 7. And there we go. World champions are Toyota. Those 3. And the team championship winner as well. Congratulations to them. Yeah, big old gaps those last 2 teams. I think that's the point system as well. Just kicking in. But, yeah, not a great season for Rebellion and Bicolors, that's for sure. I'm surprised Rebellion didn't do better. But, because Rebellion have actually got the 3rd quickest car. This is what I don't understand. I don't understand why Signatech are so quick. And how Toyota completely trounced Porsche. It's all down to strategy, I guess. Maybe they've just got better strategicians. That's not a word. It is now. But technically, Porsche should be right up there with Toyota. And it should be Rebellion we were fighting for 3rd place, not Signatech. But that's just the way the cookie crumbled. So yeah, my normal guys, you know, Leaf, Greg, Fox. You get the unique opportunity next time in helping me design a car. And we, you know, won't have all these arguments in the comments afterwards about what we should have done. So if you manage to tune in from 7 next week, I'll you know, I'll leave the stream 10-15 minutes before we really get going, so that you're all in if you can make it, and then we can design our Challenger for season 2 together, and try and get the best car we can, if we can all agree, of course. So do tune in for that. In terms of what's coming up this week, the first Dirt Rally event for the ORL League has finished, and I'm making a little video for that, so that should be out Monday or Tuesday. The Project Cars 2. Ooh, no purple livery. I'm sorry about that. I'm slightly colourblind between shades. That's why my red, white and blue Haas was red, white and purple. I do apologise about that. But hopefully I won't make that mistake with the Manor. The ORL League, Project Cars 2, in which me and Rage are both racing in, gets underway on Thursday. So of course we'll be live streaming that. And as for the normal video setup, First race of Season 2 for Haas will be out tomorrow, I hope. And then we'll obviously have some more Motorsport Manager and F1 during the week. Oh, really, Greg? Awesome. I shall take a look at that straight after this. And we'll try and give it a little test and give you some feedback in the next couple of days. For sure. That'd be great. I'll check that out afterwards. We'll be on break next week. Lucky you, Fox. I hope you have a good week. Enjoy it. We should all enjoy it any time off we can. I hope you can make it, Greg. I'm looking forward to it as well, Leaf. And as always, everybody, thank you, everybody, for tuning in and joining me for the stream tonight. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you have a great start to your next week. And I shall speak to you guys very soon.